Whiskey. Got one of my good buddies here. We've been through a lot of trouble together. So we're gonna shoot Seth. I got Christian here. We filmed another video before, but I don't know if I'm gonna post it yet. It's the C70 versus Komodo, and the C70 did pretty good. Jericho's just watching the trash cans for us today, just in case. I always gotta be a dick to Jericho videos. Donna's the director of this whole shoot. All right, so this is our lighting setup. We have the PavoTube up here, and I just try to match it with the lights up here. We have the Godox VL150 right out this window just to create some light beams. We got the hazer going down here. It's the Hurricane. So now we're all just taking turns on Seth, and Christian's next. I'm just rocking the Sirui 35mm 1.8. I just had the Komodo on the DJI RS2. I got like a handful of like really smooth motion cinematic kind of shots, but in the edit, in my mind, it's gonna be really smooth and slow motion, and the rest of the edit's gonna cut into like really hand movement, kind of like epic kind of stuff, so yeah. I'll be working on it, she'll just like sit in there. Go ahead and flip down. So Seth and I have been riding together for a while, but he got in a bad accident when we were coming back from Arizona. This is probably the second or third time you've ridden since then?
Third time, yeah.
We're gonna be shooting this, but he just had to take a lap around the block just to be safe. So something needs fixed on the bike. The mirrors keep folding, so I'm just gonna get out my red tool and fix it real quick. You know, it's the best tool you get because it says red.
You know, that tool actually has a raw setting. It's a lot better than most.
You guys know how we have a continuing joke going on about how Jericho breaks on my gear. Well, he's been holding it this whole time, and it was my follow focus.
I don't see, like, I was definitely holding it. I don't know what I did. I really was careful. God damn it.
There goes our follow focus.
Because I can do it, I just want to know if I should or not.
So, Cam is monitoring Jericho on his iPhone with the Red's Wi-Fi signal. Jericho's hanging out in the back over there. And we are going to do some tracking shots on a motorcycle. Cam's driving because he's the only one who knows how to drive a stick, sadly. Yeah, I'm recording.
Okay.
Did it say recording?
Yep.
Try to center him.
Yep.
There we go. Pivot down a little bit on the thumb. Yep. Try to pivot down up the road and up at him with the thumbstick. Go to the pavement and then pan up. It's too bright.
Oh.
Close down the ND. The whole shot was halfway through was busted. Open the ND a hair bit. We're going for round 2. Making some adjustments. Okay, go ahead and pan down. Let's get that reveal going. Looks kind of wonky on this screen. But that wireless monitoring on the Red. Yeah, this is clutch. Pretty fucking sick. I'm gonna have him pan out to the side. Yeah. Oh, he got it. He already knows. Sick. Go up, pan out. Sick. Cross, aim down. Yeah, get that sun flare in there. Wave to him to pass. Yeah, he's got it. This isn't fair. Sunset's going, the light's insane, and I'm stuck driving, and the red's stuck just not doing anything. The best camera here, not being used. I found a puddle and I couldn't resist myself as they were hanging out the back. Alright guys, so this was honestly probably one of the easiest edits I've ever had to do. I don't know why that is, but the export process on this was hell. It literally took me at least like 30 exports to finally get a clean one. The first issue was every time I export it, it would crash my computer. It would turn both my monitors crazy colors and then just restart my whole computer. So the first thing I tried was in your export settings, just go to File and slow down the rendering speed. I still got 1 or 2 crashes after that. But the other issue I was having was I kept having these random glitch frames. They look like little Pop-Tarts, like super colorful, glitchy, white noise type thing. What I figured out is if you're using noise reduction, the DaVinci, you have to change the motion estimate type to better. If that doesn't work, change the frames from 2 to 3. After that, I finally got a clean export. But I'm gonna start with the cut. Look, here we go. You see, this is what it looks like. I have no idea why it just randomly happens. But I'm just gonna start with the cut. I'm gonna break down the cut a little bit, then we'll go into the color grade. We did zero planning for the shoot. I just told Seth to come over because I needed motorcycle whiskey vibes. Christian and JERICHO ended up coming over just to help out and get some of their own stuff too that they can film. Having all 3 of us having to take turns kind of slowed down the whole shoot, but I mean, it was still fun. But like I said, we did zero planning, and so we kind of just went with the flow. So going into it, the immediate idea I had was he went to go start up his bike. It wouldn't start up. And so he just whipped out the whiskey, started to drink and fix his bike, and like daydreaming of riding. I don't know if that came across my edit, but I aimed for it, and yeah. Now again, we were very limited on time, and with 3 of us filming, we could only do so much, and so I didn't get the chance to fake stall the bike. I would have slightly disconnected the battery terminal on my bike, and it would have kind of like made it lag to start. I just had to kind of cheat it. So I created this node, and I just keyframed in the sliding effect to where when the light turns on, this node kind of just dims it down and desaturates it. On top of that, I just went in and added this film burn effect on top of this. And so you can see just it together, it kind of gives it like this dying look. I did sound effects of like a record stopping and then engine starting and then engine dying. For audio, I actually record some sounds with my iPhone. This is something I do a lot. You can hear, I don't know if you can hear this to the mic, but just the bottle opening. So I just take my iPhone, the voice memo app. You have to make sure you set your settings for the voice memo app to record high quality. But you see, I did use Epidemic Sounds for some other sounds. So that thumping sound was used for when he drops that stump and it cuts into the motorcycle. Again, I try to sell the daydreaming effect with the ambience of the sound design. So you see for sound design, I really just use EQ and volume to really sell the effects. So you see for like the music right here, I just cut all the mids and the highs out on the EQ. So the song kind of sounds like it's being played off a radio. The garage sound, this was recorded on my iPhone. I could play that for you guys real quick. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the cut side of things. Again, I just want to go from like very smooth gimbal shots into really handheld, high pace, like action type shots for when he was starting to build stuff. So for the color grading breakdown, you can see it's very simple. First off, we have our noise reduction because we are shooting in RAW. If you shoot in B-RAW or Red RAW, or even Canon RAW, you are aware that you need to run noise reduction because it doesn't do it internally at all. After that, I have a sharpening node. So we can zoom in here and I will turn off both of these nodes. So you see, it's still not that noisy, and this is at ISO 800. But you see, once we turn on noise reduction, it just cleans it up a little bit and add some sharpening. You see, it's very subtle what it's doing, but it does just add a little bit of a cleaner look to it. This node is just for highlight recovery. It's actually not doing a whole lot on most of these clips. It's just for some of them. And then this is the money node right here. This is dehancer. Again, this is very processor intensive. And so I'm used to color grading as I edit, but with this plugin, I'm having to kind of edit first and then color grade last, which isn't as fun for me, but I mean, I'm loving the look that I get out of this, so it is what it is on that. I'm also switching back to using a rendering workflow. So as I start finalizing the edit and color grading, I switch my whole timeline to a render base. And so as I'm editing, clips are rendering out so I can play back smoothly. But you see, I'm just using the Helium 8K Super 35 profile. I'm using Kodak Vision 50D. I'm liking the creamy highlights that it does. It does like this creamy, warmer highlight on it. And so yeah, I just went through each setting. I have a previous video showing how I use this tool. I didn't do anything different on that. And then my final node is just the color grade. I'm just simply going in and I am just using my 3 color wheels here. I'm not doing anything in my curves. I'm not trying to push the blues to teal or anything like that. It's just simple three wheel color grade here. And that's pretty much it. That's every single clip on this. We go into here. I do get a little bit more fancier in this. I created a node just to bring down the exposure because you see it was blooming out a little bit too much. I was using a Tiffin Glimmer Glass for diffusion on the Sirui. So you see it's just kind of bringing down that hot exposure to the left, and it kind of controls the bloom too, helps bring that down. So on some of them too, I would have to go in and raise the shadows. So I would just go in, create a node before the highlight recovery and just lift my shadows. That's all this node is doing. So I'm just trying to stretch the image a little bit more for Dehancer to have a little bit more awareness of what's going on here. In this node, I'm just going in and I'm crushing the blacks. So that's all that's going on in here. And then in the HDR tool too as well. So yeah, it's pretty much just the same thing on all these clips. Again, I didn't do anything fancy on this. Dehancer's really just doing a lot of the work. That's why, again, it is processor intensive more than film convert, but it just kind of gets me to that look a little bit more faster than film convert does. While also slowing me down just because it's processor intensive. One final trick that I will show you guys too. So this shot was just a regular like gimbal panning shot. I love keyframing zooms in. Sometimes I'll just use dynamic zoom, but other times I'll paint in my keyframes. So you can see earlier in the clip, it's set to 1.2. And by the time the clip ends, it goes into 1.5. So that just adds even more motion into everything going on. I like having a lot of motion when you're shooting videos like this because I don't want my viewers to get bored. So I try to take the Michael Bay approach. Now, if I was doing a narrative piece of work, obviously I wouldn't do that. I'd honestly probably lock it off or use a slider and do very, very, very slow, subtle movements. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for that. That's it for this video. So just a quick behind the scenes and a little bit behind the scenes on the edit and the color grade. Hopefully that broke it down enough for you guys. Yeah, if you have any questions, if you guys want to see anything else on future videos, just let me know and I'll cover it. Peace.